Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Chris. Today I'd like to propose a question. What happens when the limitations of human capability is pushed to the point of needing a computer to help you write your drum parts because they're so overtly complex the human mind could not conceive it? What you just heard was roughly 10 seconds of one of the most difficult songs created in terms of rhythm. The song is Bleed by a band called Meshuggah. Meshuggah are from Umeå, Sweden, and they single-handedly created two new subgenres of metal. First is gent, which is an onomatopoeia for the staccato and seemingly random guitar plucking that you can hear. Next is extreme metal, which is a form of progressive metal characterized by complex polyrhythms played over 4/4, giving the illusion of playing odd times. The drummer from Meshuggah, Thomas Hawk, when describing their music in an interview said, "Almost everything we play is in 4/4. Seeing as how the rhythms they play are extremely complex, you can still feel a steady pulse. This defining factor is what differentiates them from other progressive bands. In the veritable chaos that is their music, there is still an order being maintained throughout. This balance essentially makes progressive metal accessible to casual listeners while also appealing to music theory nerds. They walk the tightrope of accessible and complex progressive metal through no coincidence but rather intention. Unlike other progressive bands like Opeth and Dream Theater, who make the complex rhythms a focal point, this pigeonholes them to an audience of mainly music theory fanatics. Meshuggah has masterfully combined the chaos of intricate polyrhythms and a steady 4/4 pulse, allowing this accessibility. I've been playing music for 10 years and professionally for 4 years. I play drums and steel pan around the Sarasota area. Today I'm going to go in depth about Meshuggah, this song Bleed and the rhythms used throughout, how this song came to be, and how it birthed a new genre of metal. First, I'm going to discuss the rhythms used in Bleed, predominantly the intro. Despite its aggressive pandemonium of rhythm, Bleed is in 4/4. So according to an article from the Journal of Developmental Science, in 4/4 time, the quarter note equals one beat in a measure. I personally count the backbeat as 2 and 4, but technically it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 for that song. But I count it as 1, 2, because that's just how I count as a drummer. So the most noteworthy part of the intro rhythm is what's known as a herta. A herta is defined by Vic Firth as a hybrid rudiment of singles consisting of the pattern right, left, right, left. Now when it's played that fast, it sounds like... That rhythm alone took me about 2 months just to learn with my hands. And the herta is usually played over 3 in a triplet rhythm feel, but playing in this 4/4 time, it continually goes over the bar line. So it meets up after every 2 measures. Now that we have a better understanding of how this intro works rhythmically, we're going to go on to how the song was created. Now, Meshuggah are trailblazers when it comes to a metal band implementing computers into their creative process. They use softwares like TuneTrack, which streamlines their writing process, enabling them to create music thought impossible even by the most proficient players. In TuneTrack, they use pre-programmed drums. In an interview, Thomas said, "We never jam to write our songs. All of us know how to program drums in TuneTrack, so that's where we start." And using this software, they can create absolutely ridiculous things like Bleed. For example, Bleed almost did not make it onto this album. This album is called Obscene. In the documentary, Thomas talked about how this song took him 6 months to learn and almost did not make it on the album. It took him as much time to learn all other songs, and 7 songs on that album. It took him that same amount of time to learn just this song. Being a professional musician myself, it takes me about an hour to really know a song front to back. And I've also been practicing a song called Stenga the last couple days, and I spent about 3 hours on a total of 16 measures of that song, and I'm still practicing it. A major component to their overall sound is not And not only Bleed, but all of their tracks are it's thanks to their custom built 8-string guitars. As you can see, the creative process of their music took a lot of thought as well as technological innovation. Now we're going to get onto their impact on the music industry as a whole. Throughout their tenure, Meshuggah has changed the music industry by creating 2 distinct subgenres of metal. They created extreme metal, but they also created djent, which is an onomatopoeia. Their innovation also lies in how they record their music, which I discussed previously. The use of computers. During their most recent tours, they've used the Neural DSP Quad Cortex, which is essentially a modeling amp that uses generative AI to pick up the model of a sound. Like, let's say it's a Fender Deluxe Reverb from 1960 and you really like that tone. It can record that and then replicate it perfectly. And they use this to get that consistent live sound that they're known for. Meshuggah is undoubtedly a group of world-class musicians. Their ability to play overly complex and precise rhythms has earned them a spot on Rolling Stone magazine's top 10 most influential hard rock and heavy metal bands. The impact they have on not only metal but music is monumental and cannot be understated. Whether their music is of interest to you or not, proving them to be bad musicians would be futile and impossible. As you can see, Meshuggah put a lot of thought into their competitions and has made a lasting impact on the music industry, and this is still making waves today. First, we talked about Bleed and its complex but accessible rhythm. Next, we talked about the recording process Meshuggah uses, as well as the innovations they've made in music. Finally, we talked about their impact on the music industry. Ingenuity is all around us, whether physical or something intangible like music. But when they combine to create something as unique as Meshuggah, it is astounding. With their custom 8-string guitars, computer implementation into their writing process, and complex rhythms, they will always remain a behemoth in the music industry and a premier example of virtuosic musicianship.